Okay, guys, I'm going to try to kick us off because it's a little past 7 and watch the rating room at the same time. But if someone texts you and tells you they're stuck, let me know. In general, I can watch at the same time. Not always. My nervous system is shot today. My college kid missed her shuttle bus to the airport. There was crying involved. Had to do a lot of crisis management. So I'm a little jangly. But today we are going to talk about understanding the foundations of our nutrition programs and how to use that to talk about what we do. So, but first I'm going to talk about GTC. Sorry, I forgot. You guys, the MVPs, make sure that you are remembering and thinking about GTC. So, you guys, having small children is a whole thing. Having big children is also a whole thing. Your heart. And now it's telling my internet's unstable, which happens out here all the time. So we are having a lot of rain. So if that ends up being weird, let me know too. But GTC, so you still have plenty of time to register. You absolutely want to be there. I know we have gotten out of the habit of doing things in person and just thinking to ourselves, I'll watch that later. You should know there is not going to be a virtual this year. Home office has said this is not going to be like a surprise, you can have the virtual later. That's not what's going to happen. So there is no virtual option. If you are taking your business seriously, this is where you're going to get that information, is being in person. But if you go to GTC, this is just last year's stats, you are 3 times more likely to promote in the following 3 months. You are 40% more volume in your central district alone, just your central district, and you will earn 5.4 times more money in the 3 months following GTC than if you did not go. A lot of times people are like, I don't know if it's worth it to make the investment. Sometimes I know it's a financial thing for you guys, but it is basically proven with stats that you will make your money back that you spend on GTC just in your earnings, commissions, overrides for the 3 months afterwards. It is so, so worth it. There's absolutely no replacement for it. As somebody who thought it was kind of silly and this was going to be like a drink the Kool-Aid event, there is nothing like being in the arena. Nothing replicates that, not a retreat, not anything. It is the absolute best that we have to offer. So I highly encourage you to register for that as soon as possible. Registration is still open all the way up through June. You've got plenty of time. If you need a roommate, let us know. We'll help you find roommates. We'll do all the things, but make sure you can get there. Okay. Oh, there's an incentive. So if you have 10 new consultants who do 250 CQV in their start period, which home office is considering their first 5 months of business, which is very generous, then they're going to pay you back your registration fee for GTC. So keep that in mind too. If you've got financial difficulties or if you're on a budget, that you can do that. And that's a very generous incentive, particularly with all the other things that are going on now. Okay. Now let's talk about nutrition. So I want you guys to understand where Arbonne gets all of this from. Because what I see a lot is you guys come to us with objections and you'll say, well, I've got somebody saying this or asking this question about nutrition. And the more that I hear it and the longer that I'm in Arbonne, what I'm really hearing is I don't have a core belief in what we do. And whatever this client's objection or question is, I kind of secretly share it. I don't have a strong enough belief to be confident to go back to that person and say, here's why this is. So I want you guys to leave today to feel a lot more confident about why we do things the way we do them. So where is this coming from? Everything I'm telling you today is not from Arbonne. So I love Arbonne. You can trust everything on the website. That is entirely verified, backed, all of the things. But what I do when I'm doing research about nutrition is I look for PubMed articles. So what happened during the little shenanigans we've had in the last couple of years is that we've all decided that we're really good researchers about science. And I have to tell you, no, we're not. No, we're not. But if you can find PubMed articles and you can read and understand what the results are saying, because anytime someone comes to you and says, well, I don't know about that or whatever about this, you're just like, oh, totally, don't trust me. Here's the study that I got it from. And you can let them read for themselves. You should be able to back up all of the things that you say. And in the age that we're in, because everybody's just like us, right? We are all now medical researchers who understand everything. It's not good enough to say Arbonne says anymore, right? Now we have to be able to back up everything we say. So everything I'm telling you today, I got from a study that is published, excellent, good medical studies, not from articles, not from blogs, not from any of the above, just so you know that. When I start doing research, I do not start with Arbonne or Arbonne products. I start the other way. So I start with the foundations of health that I'm going to talk to you about today. We used to call it the pillars sometimes, is where our programs are from. What are we actually trying to impact when we are talking to people about what we do? And then I work backwards. So I don't start with the product. I start with the foundations of health. What impacts that foundation of health? For example, let's take blood sugar. We're going to talk about that today. And then I work into how does Arbonne fit into that? Because I will tell you, every single time we're already there. Arbonne has already done this. Their products, their clinical studies, all the things that they say are because they know that these are the important foundations of health. They don't start with a product that they just want to willy-nilly sell to people because that'd be cool and they think it's fun, right? There's a difference between Monster energy drinks and fizz, and the difference is the impact on these foundations of health. And when you start from there, you'll see that Arbonne beat us there already. You're not going to have to search hard to find a way that an Arbonne product fits into the truly foundations of health. I'm going to keep saying that over and over again. Okay, so let's go. We're only going to talk about two today. There are more. The two we're going to talk about today are balanced blood sugar and improving gut health. Those are some of the two very, very biggest pillars of health that not only are really, truly important because everything is interconnected, but that are also trending right now, that you're seeing stuff about everywhere. And sometimes you might not realize things are related. So I'll talk about that a little bit, but you might see words like insulin resistance or PCOS or hormones or this, and you might not realize how interconnected all of these things are. So here's what I do. We're going to start with balancing your blood sugar first. And I'm going to talk about the products that we offer that go underneath that foundation of health. And then I'm going to talk about how what we do during our programs impacts that foundation of health. So balancing your blood sugar. You guys kind of know what that is, right? It's your body's response to glucose. Just because you rise and fall doesn't mean anything's wrong. What really is important is how quickly you go back to stability, right? That your body is able to restabilize yourself. That's when you know your blood sugar is balanced. It's regulated. It's going well. That's a very quick overview of what that is. There's a lot more you could learn and say about that. The products that we have that impact that the most, there are going to be a ton you guys that I do not mention today. It's not because they don't. I'm not saying they have nothing to do with this. These are just the ones that I share the most and that I think have the most impact. But if you're looking at something else, so for example, I'm not going to talk about Inner Calm today, and you're like, but wait, I saw that ashwagandha does this. I'm not saying it doesn't just because I didn't bring it up today. We just only have time for what we have time for. So the products that we're going to talk about today, protein, green synergy, fizz, and fiber are, I think, our strongest contender products under balancing your blood sugar. So start with protein. Just found a study, diets over 75 grams of protein are shown to significantly reduce your A1C in blood lab results, right? So looking at that blood sugar, looking at your results when you're getting your blood drawn. So that is equal to between 0.675 and 0.9 grams of protein per pound of body weight. I know that there are a lot of people debating that right now, but that is what that study shows, particularly for people who are struggling with their blood sugar. Diabetic people, pre-diabetic people, insulin resistance, PCOS, all of that is under the blood sugar kind of umbrella. And that is what has been shown to have the most impact. Eating that amount of protein also reduces hunger, improves your satiety, limits muscle loss, even during weight loss, and improves your metabolic function. So that is what that amount of protein does. Now, very obviously, we're talking about protein shakes here, right? Protein shake is a really convenient and accessible way to raise your protein. Many, many people have a very difficult time eating that amount of meat. I'm not even going to touch vegetarians and vegans. They're their own category when they're trying to get protein. Tricky. Even people who eat meat are going to have a very hard time putting in that amount of animal protein. So a protein shake is a convenient, accessible, and affordable way to make sure you are getting the appropriate amount of protein. Most Americans eat less than 40 grams of protein a day. So they're nowhere near where they need to be if one of their focuses is balanced and regulated blood sugar, which it should be for everybody, whether you're trying to lose weight or not. It impacts how you feel. It impacts your mood. It impacts so many things. So that is where obviously our protein shines. Somewhere between 20, 24 grams of protein. If you're using the serving size on the bag, I personally add 1 extra scoop to everything. So my shakes are at a minimum between 30 and 40 grams of protein, right? Really helps getting up to that level of protein. And that is one of the ways that you can help balance your blood sugar. So that's how that connects back. Let's talk about green synergy. I researched every individual part of Green Synergy so that you can say what each thing does. It's a 3-in-1. That's convenient. We know that. But why? Why does each thing matter? So for balancing your blood sugar only, we're going to talk more about its effect on gut health in that section. Greens themselves help prevent blood sugar spikes. Even dehydrated vegetables have been proven to help prevent blood sugar spikes. The probiotic, prebiotic, digestive enzyme part, so basically the gut health part of our Green Synergy, certain types of gut microbes contribute to diabetes. So certain kinds of bad gut bacteria contribute to being diabetic, and higher levels of good gut microbes improve insulin sensitivity. So if your brain is like, wait, isn't that bad? No, insulin sensitivity is good. It's the opposite of insulin resistance. So certain kinds of gut microbes make sure you're more insulin sensitive. So basically being healthier gut helps you not be diabetic and be more insulin sensitive. And then the collagen builder part of Green Synergy in collagen builder. So increases insulin secretion and stabilizes blood sugar levels. Did you know that? Before today, I had no idea that the collagen builder part of Green Synergy affected your blood sugar. I knew it did other things, but I did not know it could affect your blood sugar. So all of that from PubMed's, like a PubMed study. Okay, Fizz. The main star ingredient of Fizz when it comes to blood sugar is chromium. So how do you find all this out? If you're like, I don't even know what you're talking about. Did you just pull this out of your backside? I did not. One of the easiest ways to figure out what the active ingredients in an Arbonne product are is to just go to the landing page. And on the landing page, underneath all of that stuff, they have these little boxes. And Arbonne highlights like the main ingredient, the ingredients they want you to pay attention to. So just go ahead and look at it and it'll say, the main ingredient in this is hyaluronic acid. The main active ingredient in this is whatever. And then you can research. Can I post these studies later? I can, but it's going to take me a while to gather them all. I should have made a note with them while I was doing this, but I didn't. So it's going to take me a while. But yes, I can. So that is how I figure out what some of the ingredients I want to look into or what some of the most active ingredients in an Arbonne product are is I just look at the product landing page. Okay, so in Fizz, chromium. Chromium stabilizes blood sugar by improving how the body uses insulin. The green tea extract improves insulin sensitivity. Again, insulin sensitivity is good, not bad, and decreases A1C numbers in labs. So that's green tea extract. So those are the two main things in Fizz with blood sugar. Obviously, Fizz does a lot of other things, right? Fizz improves your cognition, increases your energy, improves your metabolic function. Those are all things on the Meet the Product, so you know that you can safely say them. But when you're looking at how do they affect blood sugar, it's the two things, chromium, green tea extract. All right, and then fiber. Fiber is a really obvious one. Many of us, even with very little nutrition knowledge, understand that fiber helps slow down the absorption of glucose, helps you have more balanced blood sugar. Most Americans don't eat enough fiber. We're going to talk a little more about that, but it really helps you stay a little more balanced. If you eat fiber with things like sugar or simple carbohydrates, it helps your blood sugar not have the reaction that it would have if you ate those things alone. Moving on to program details. So why we do the things in our programs that affect blood sugar. So how does what we teach that does not have to do with the product affect blood sugar, right? So underneath that, when we have them reduce sugar and sugar substitutes, that leads to more stable blood sugar. Everybody hates that. You can't get away from it. It is still true. Sugar substitutes are equally as bad on your blood sugar as sugar, and they don't necessarily fully understand why yet. Like, why does Diet Coke really mess with people? Still true. They know it does. I don't fully understand the science behind that, but it's still true. Having them eat higher protein. Again, we talked about how protein has all of those effects on your blood sugar. That's one of the things that helps them out. Eating more fiber and more healthy fats. Again, helping your body stay regulated, slowing down the absorption of some of the things that you eat. Increasing nutrient density, proven to help you balance your blood sugar. Eliminating low quality foods, right? So we have them eliminate as much processed garbage as we can. Some people do, some people don't, but we ask them to. Those tend to be very hard on blood sugar regulation, right? When you eat chips, Wonder Bread, Ho-Hos, Twinkies, I can't even think of all the bad food there is. It's been so long since we've eaten it. All of that, awful for your blood sugar. When we ask them to kind of reduce or remove that, they're going to stay more stable. And then water, movement, and sleep, all directly related to your blood sugar. 7+ hours of sleep a night, directly related to your blood sugar being balanced. Okay, we're going to move on to gut health. One of the focuses of Arbonne, one of the foundations of your health, is improving your gut health, having a healthy gut. Say it however you want to say it, but the focus on improving your gut health is really a foundation of everybody's health, no matter what their goal is, weight, the whole 9 yards. So the products that I think affect that the most, or at least that I did research on for today, are Green Synergy or Green Gut Glow. I'm going to use those interchangeably. So when I say Green Synergy, if someone happens to use the 3 products still, it makes no difference to me. That is basically, they're very, 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 very similar. Totally fine if they're using that. So for example, when they're getting that 30-day kit, they're very often getting the greens powder, the gut health, right? They're getting them separately. Still absolutely fine. So I'm not going to say it every time, but still good. Fiber, again, fizz and tea. Those are the things we're going to talk about today and how those directly impact your gut health. So we're going to start with Green Synergy or Green Gut Glow. The greens part of it. So I broke it up into the 3 again, just like I did for blood sugar. The greens part of it. The variety of produce that you eat is directly connected to the variety of good gut microbes your body is able to produce. So I'm going to paraphrase now. This is not from a study. This is me paraphrasing. If the only 2 vegetables you eat are broccoli and romaine, week after week after week after week, your body will then be able to produce, and again, this is where I'm paraphrasing, 2 good gut microbes, the broccoli one and the romaine one, right? Many of us are not eating like 30 to 40 to 50 different types of produce. We're just not. I know we're not at our house. And what they do, what greens powder does, is it covers more of the spectrum of variety of produce so that your body is able to produce more of the spectrum of good gut microbes. Does that kind of make sense? Okay, that's how that is connected. The prebiotics that are part of the gut health. So whether you're taking your gut health packet, whether you're taking as part of Green Synergy, doesn't matter. Those feed good gut microbes. So your good gut microbes need to be fed. And it also helps feed your probiotics. If you don't feed your probiotics, they won't live. Sorry, my kid is like, where's dad? I do not know. Bless it. Please tell me someone else's teenager will only text you, even though you're out of the house, when their father is sitting literally right there, because mine are like that. I don't know if it's because they're girls. So your probiotics need to be fed by the prebiotics. Lucky for us, we have that in there. The probiotics themselves repopulate the good bacteria. I think many of us have gotten a good handle on what probiotics do at this point. We understand. Probiotics help you repopulate the good gut bacteria you want and need. And the digestive enzymes. I, again, did not suspect that these had a long-term effect on your gut health, but it does. So they allow for the absorption of nutrients. So even if you eat like a gold star champion Olympian, if your digestive enzymes are not right, your body cannot and will not absorb the nutrients from the things that you are eating. So you need a good level of digestive enzymes. Some people have that naturally, many do not. You'll probably know if you don't, but a lot of times we don't know that it's digestive enzymes. We just know that we're bloated, gassy, having bathroom issues, all of that kind of bad stuff, right? But we don't know that it's digestive enzymes. It also, I can't read my own handwriting, friends. Oh, improves bloating, cramping, and digestive functions. That's what digestive enzymes do. And then the collagen builder part. Collagen builder helps heal your gut lining, aids in digestive function, and can counteract a poor diet. That is literally the words I wrote down word for word what the study said, because I was like, that does not seem right. But collagen builder can help counteract the effects of a poor diet. So really helping heal the gut lining. Again, I'm going to remind you for when you bring this back, Arbonne did not say any of this. This is all a Shannon Wenzel special, okay? So these are not claims Arbonne is making. This is for your own understanding about what affects your health and how our products can lead to the effects that you want, how we can improve those foundations of health. But Arbonne is not making claims like collagen builder heals your gut lining. So I do not want to see on Instagram tomorrow that. Okay, because that is not a claim they're making. Despite what I'm telling you, this is for you, your confidence, your understanding. We still cannot make claims that Arbonne tells us we cannot make. So just so we're all clear on that, this is not making any claims about what will happen with our products. This is what my research says our products can impact because of the ingredients in our products. Okay, so fiber. Most Americans eat less than 10 grams of fiber a day. they should be eating somewhere between 25 and 38 grams of fiber, depending on their gender and their age. So we're nowhere near where we need to be. This is why supplementation can be great. And fiber, in terms of impacting your gut health, aids in your digestion. That's the part that I think we know. That's the easy one. And is also fuel for your gut microbiome. So it helps provide fuel for that good gut microbes that you want. Good, good. That one's not hard. Fizz. I did not really realize that fizz had anything in it that would impact your gut health. This is why this is so great to do this kind of stuff. Number one, green tea extract reduces harmful gut bacteria and increases beneficial ones. My own handwriting, it's a challenge, y'all. Okay, so green tea extract reduces bad gut bacteria, increases good gut bacteria. Who knew? And then also known to decrease gut inflammation and gut permeability. All right, pretty good. Pretty good for something we're all drinking anyway. Then tea. Again, tea I knew supported your liver and kidneys. So if I could go through every foundation of health, we would talk about all of this stuff. A lot of these things that we're talking about have other excellent effects that we're not even discussing. But so our Clean Tox tea, the nettle root, or nettle leaf, sorry, nettle leaf, decreases bloating and helps stimulate your digestive enzymes. So awesome for gut health there. And then the dandelion improves your gut microbes and is a natural probiotic. Who knew? Who knew? So there's a little bit about those products, how they are helping our focus on improving our clients' gut health, our own gut health. Here's about our programs, right? So when we increase nutrient density, that also increases good gut microbes, like we talked about with the greens powder. More, better. When we decrease their sugar, that increases their gut health. Sugar kills good gut microbes. It's for the worst. Sugar substitute, also truly terrible for your gut microbes. So all of that. Reducing alcohol, gluten, fried foods, all improve gut health markers like good gut microbes. Water, sleep, and movement. Again, it's the same thing on the lifestyle side every single time. Improve gut health factors. Everything we do, you guys, this is what I want you to see and feel really confident in. Everything we do in our programs is not something that somebody just made up, that we just decided to throw some spaghetti on the wall and we're like, I don't know, people like energy drinks, we should make one. That's not how Arbonne does it. When they say health from the inside out, right, our mission, really holistic health, they are not kidding. They really started from the foundations of what it looks like to be healthy, some of those things we've talked about. And then they found ways to help you supplement, to help your body function optimally. So when I talk to people about any of our nutrition, whether it's products, a program, whatever I'm talking about, what I say is I don't say it detoxes your body. I don't say anything like that. I say it helps your body function optimally. This helps you work as you were created to work, because that is the truth. What we want them to understand is that it is all connected, all connects back. Even supplements, which some people do not believe in, I know because I was one of them, connect back to these foundations of your health to help your body function the way that it should have already. But because of so many things, the world we live in, stress, all these things, it just isn't, right? Grandma might not have needed this stuff. We do. Grandma didn't need blue light glasses either because she didn't have a phone in her hand 20 hours a day. We need this because of the way the world operates now. And so I just want you guys to feel confident this is all connected. If we were going to keep going on this, which I do not have time to do, I would talk to you guys about chronic inflammation, how our products and our programs can affect that. I would talk about increasing nutrient density. We could talk about hormones. There are other pillars of health that our programs and our products support that I don't have time to talk about today. Those are just the first two. If you want to hear more about those later, I can tell you more about them later. But I just want you guys to feel confident when someone comes to you and is like, what is this? I don't need this. I get that because I was that person. But Arbonne started with what makes people wake up, feel good, and be able to operate in their day where they feel awesome and they can do all the things that they want to do. They're not bloated. They're not running to the bathroom all the time. They don't have migraines. They're not exhausted, right? That's what we want to feel like. That's what we want our clients to feel like. And that is where the company started with creating nutrition. They did not start with making money. And the more you understand that, and the more you feel confident when you're talking about that and how it all connects back and how it's all intertwined, I think you will feel so much better, and objections and questions will bother you so much less because your belief is strong and you understand where it comes from. Now let's talk about creating content around this. So that was the second part of this. When I made that little quick daily essentials video the other day for everybody, people were like, did you have a script? Where did you get this from? I didn't get this from anywhere. I just talked about what I know to be true about our products. What is protein good for? What does Green Synergy do? How does that all connect to how you feel every day and your health? That's all I did. So I want you guys to be able to create content around this. So here's what I do. I do not sell product. You will very rarely hear me say, our gut health, microbe, and digestion. I don't even know the official name of this. My copy girl was just putting it in an email, and I was like, don't write it like that. I don't talk like that. I don't talk like that ever. You don't need to, right? Because I don't start with product. I start with one of the foundations of health, because I start with how people want to feel. That's what they care about. They do not care about the 85 ingredients that are in an individual product. If they do, you'll know, because they will ask you. The people who care about that one ingredient are always going to ask you, but you don't need to start there. You need to start with helping them see how they could feel like their best selves. I always say their best selves, right? Their favorite selves. So what I do is I kind of have like a 3-step process when I'm making a video or when I'm talking to people in person. It does not matter which one. I know people are all like feeling like social media and in person is so different. It's not. It's not. Understanding the conversation you're having and being confident in what you have to offer remain the same, no matter how you're running this. So it's a 3-step process. So first, I relate something about either me or my clients. I'll explain this in an example in a minute. Then I explain what's happening. Like, what is the science? What is bloating? Why are you bloated? What's going on with that? I just made a video the other day about it. And then I offer a solution when I'm connecting it back to the science of what is actually happening. Oftentimes, I'm not going to say the product name. I'll say, you might want to supplement this, or I take this, you might want to find this, something like that. So for example, if I was going to talk about Green Synergy, like, why do I think people should take Green Synergy? I wouldn't start by saying, this is Green Synergy. It's a 3-in-1 and da-da-da-da, like I did for the Daily Essentials video, right? That was for you to send people who are interested, who need more details. If I was going to talk about it on social media, if I was going to talk about it in person, I would say something more like, what would I do if I look 6 months pregnant and my belly hurts, but I need to wear a dress tomorrow? I would start out something like that. Something relatable, either that a client has gone through or that I'm going through. And then I would talk about what is bloating from, and then I would offer a solution. The easiest way to get rid of this the most quickly is this. It's just really easy. If I was going to talk about fizz, instead of saying 3 reasons why Arbonne's fizz sticks are awesome, which is something I think we have all done. So if you are like doing this, definitely something I've done too. I think that there are stages in how we talk about things, and there's always pivots to be made. And I think we're making a pivot now to just really being more relational. I would probably say something like, what happened when I balanced my blood sugar last year? Or, just something that is more about the foundations of it and how I feel every day, and less about the ingredients and a product. And then I might say something like, I found that I wasn't hangry every day, or I wasn't starving after dinner anymore, and I love doing it this way. Here are some ways that I did that. This is why your blood sugar acts this way, that kind of stuff. So relate, explain what's happening with the science, offering a solution. I do the same thing, whether that is in person on social media or in social media. So on social media, you've got 2 choices. I know we had a lot of questions last week. Should we do reels? Should we do this? Should we do this? When I'm talking about more of the science behind this, when I'm talking about the foundations of health, I often do that as a longer video. So not a reel. I make it just on my phone, like just using your phone video. And then you create it as a post instead of a reel. So I try to keep this under 3 minutes no matter what. I'm terrible at it. You guys know I'm very wordy. I love to talk. But if you can keep it under 3 minutes, that helps. But that gives you a little more room to be a little more polished and to give a little more of an explanation. So when you're doing a reel, you're aiming for 7 seconds. That is when you're going to be like, 3 ways I saw my blood sugar last year. That 7 seconds is gone. You're done. You can use your caption to explain so much more, but you're basically done. If you want to be a little more professional, if you want to like position yourself as a little bit of an authority on what's happening, you can do a little bit longer of a video. And all you're going to do in Instagram, for example, is hit post instead of hit reels. That's it. You have just a little bit longer. If you can make it a little more polished, I think that's great. I think reels can be like super spur of the moment, off the cuff, whatever. If you have a little more to say and you want to do it, those videos that are a little longer give you that opportunity to do that. But again, you still need to keep it really short. So when I do this, I might tease out like one aspect of this. You probably are not going to have an opportunity to talk about every part of gut health. In fact, I know for sure you will not be able to do a good job explaining every part of gut health in 3 minutes, but you can probably talk about what you felt like when you were bloated in one sentence. You can probably talk about why that was happening. And then you can probably talk about 2 or 3 solutions to that you found helpful. All of that, slap in a call to action, you're done. So one of the things that I feel like is working really well right now for a lot of people, and you've probably seen it a lot because I've heard some complaints about this, is saying, comment gut if you want to hear whatever. For whatever reason, people have gotten familiar with this way of going about it because of influencers. And it's because everybody's using ManyChat so that it's automatically sending the message when you do that. You don't need to do that. But they seem to want to engage more when you handle it that way. So I'll often say something like comment gut health, but then it'll be for them to get access to more information, not comment gut health to buy my favorite product, although that's one way to go too. You could say comment gut health for the 3 things that made the biggest difference to me. Comment gut health for 2 things I didn't have a chance to mention during this video. Comment gut health for the brand of this that I like to use, right? If it's always Arbonne, people will stop commenting because they know you're just trying to sell them a thing. But if you are truly becoming a resource for them in wellness and in health, then they will continue to comment, they'll continue to engage with you, and they start to trust you as an authority in wellness. For me, that's a goal of mine. If that's not a goal of yours, I totally get it, but it probably should be. No matter how you're doing this, in person, it works exactly the same. If someone's commenting their tummy hurts or someone's kid's tummies hurt, or they bring it up, moms bring stuff like this up all the time to each other, right? You can just say, oh man, yes, we have that in our house too. Do you want to try this BioStick? They taste like pixie sticks. They help so much. Just really, really, really keeping it simple. Just relating to them, explaining what the science is, whatever. And then offering them a solution. In person is the same as on social media. It doesn't really make a difference where you do it. What matters is how you do it. And if you feel confident understanding and suggesting things. So I hope that you do. I hope this made you a little more confident. If you've got questions, let me know. You can put in the chat. You can unmute. But we're pretty much close to time. So I don't know if anyone's got anything, but that was the quickest overview of some of the foundations of science stuff ever. We good? Okay. Yes, it is recorded. None of this is stuff that Arbonne has said. I just want to remind you of that. Arbonne did not say any of those things I just said. That was some Shannon Wenzel research to help you understand why we use the products we use. Good? Good. All right. Good to see you guys. We guys will see you tomorrow for Tara's DA. So make sure you're inviting to that.